go. With the jig streamer. There we go. Nice little brownie. Nice little brownie to start the day. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Brown. So I'm on my favorite little Eastern Pennsylvania limestoner. It's a really crisp fall day. It's about 35 degrees. I haven't taken a water temperature, but I think it's in the high 40s. And I caught him on a little size 10 jig streamer. I don't know if you can see on the video, I was putting a little action on it. It's a nice deep hole right in there, and he barely hit. I mean, it's a chilly morning, so I'm probably gonna stick with the streamer for a while until I start seeing some bug activity. Just really working these deep holes. Just a slight jigging action. Make sure it gets down to the bottom. Just hopping it up, less than 6 inches along the bottom. I tell you, a lot of people think they nail it hard, a streamer, and that fish I just caught, he barely hit it. That's a nice cast right there. There we go. Once again, barely, I mean, it was just, he barely hit it. Little brownie again. Boy, he's a dark guy. Good Lord, he is dark. He must be living under that shelf over there, that bank. He is dark. What a beautiful fish though. Chunky guy. Look how dark he is. What an awesome looking brownie. Just gorgeous fall colors. Thank you, Mr. Brown. You can see I carry a rag with me. A lot of people, when they fish with gloves, they want to grab the fish with the wet glove, and one, that's not good for the fish, but two, it gets the glove wet. And your glove's just never gonna dry on a cold day like this. So bring a rag. I got this from Kelly Gallup. I take a rag, I dry my hand off, and then I just simply stick the towel in my waders, and I take my dry glove and put it back on my hand. Now these are really thin. These are sun gloves, but on days like this, I mean, it's not bitter cold, it's in the 30s, but days like this, these gloves are just enough to keep you warm. So my hands, my glove stays dry all day. There we go. Ah. He whacked it. There we go. Oh, nice fish. Nice fish. Oh. Put it right up in that soft spot right there. Just came up and whacked it. Got my dropper. France fly. Nice, nice, nice brownie. Boy, he is just beautifully colored up. What a great fish. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Nice 14-incher. Hit the size 16 France fly. So I've been fishing with a jig streamer, and I had pretty decent luck. I wasn't wearing them out, but I'd probably caught a half a dozen or so. It's starting to warm up now. It's still cold, but I mean, it is starting to warm up. The sun It's actually cloudy right now, but the sun did come up, and I know the temperature, I took a temperature of the water earlier when I started, it was 48. It's about 51 now. So, and I've seen a lot of olives coming up. I've seen a few risers. So I did switch over. I had 5.5X Trout Hunter with a jig streamer on, and then I just put 6.5 on. And I got a size 16 perdigon on the bottom and a 16 French fly up top. And you can see that is a little sandy area right there, a little soft spot. And that fish was just at the end there, and he whacked it. Let's see if I can't get a couple more. That's a good sign. I mean, I just really switched over after seeing that activity. So maybe we're gonna get him nymphing now. Boy, the water is just super low and clear. There we go. Nice fish. Boy, I almost walked past the spot. I was walking by, I looked at this tree, and it was just, I just thought it's just deep enough to hold a fish, and I'll be darned. Nice brownie too. Nice brownie. I mean, this is all a foot deep, and right there, it might be 1.5 feet, but it just drops straight down right next to that tree. He was just at the tail end there. Beautiful fish. He hit the perdigon. Peacock perdigon. Thank you, Mr. Brownie. So right at the base of that tree, like I said, I was walking by and I looked and I said, God, I should throw a cast right there. And it's about 1.5 feet. And it was just right where that root comes in the water. That's where it hit right there. It just, people would walk by this spot all day long like I did. So it just never hurts when you see a spot that looks fishy, just throw a cast in and you might get rewarded just like that. Good stuff. There we go. Damn. Once again. So that log jam right there, I was standing there fishing that side and I almost walked up through there and I thought there might be a fish there. So I walked to this side of the creek, make one cast and nailed him. That's a beauty too. Gorgeous fish. There we go. Perdigon right where it should be. Nice. Nice brownie. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. So once again, I was standing actually right there and I was fishing this area right here. And then I started walking upstream. And there's a glare, as you can see up here, and I looked and I thought, wow, there looks like there's a little depth to it. So I walked to this side of the stream, stood right here, first cast, he nails it. It just goes to show you, you got to really, this is a small creek, and you got to really survey your area before you just aimlessly walk up the creek. I mean, really shallow here, but there's a nice hole right there, and that's where it would land. It's funny, these fish today they're spread out. I mean, they're definitely spread out and they're just in these little pockets, real little pockets. And some of the areas where you thought they'd be or would think they would be, there's nothing. There's another one. Look at that. Boy, he hit 2 times before that. Hitting that perdigon. Nice little guy. Good looking fish. There we go again. Wow. Fourth one out of this hole. 0 with the streamer. Boy, these are some nice fatties. Nice fatties. You hit the perdigon again. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Boy, they're beautiful fish. Love those fall colors. Love them. This is size 16 peacock light brite perdigon. Brownie. Deeper spot right at the end there. That slower, deeper spot. Lost him. You can see that side bank over there. And he was right there. It just gets a little deeper there and he whacked it. He hit the perdigon there. I was forcing him. I should have. Lesson learned. He was in there. I should have just simply gone like that. Landed him over there. I was trying to horse him in. There we go. Nice jumping brownie. My dropper. Little olive full body perdigon on my dropper. Thank you, Mr. Brown. It's right in that side bank. Lie right there. I hooked that one earlier right there, and then I got that one right there. It's a good little spot. Just one of those spots that just, when you're walking by the stream, it doesn't look like much, but you walk up, you can see a little depth, and it's just a nice little slow area, and then that edge right there has some depth, probably 2 feet deep there. There we go. It's funny, I worked this whole bank. Just looks so good, and then I got up here and the water's just a little bit slower, and sure enough, he was right in there. He hit the dropper, quill body. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Cute little guy. You got me good and tangled too. That's awesome. gonna put a walt worm on. I keep saw a lot of sow bugs. Boy, he was in that deep spot. Oh, that was awesome. There's a little ledge right there. He was on the... That's awesome. Look at that. I put that waltz on because I saw a bunch of sow bugs, and I'll be darned if he didn't hit it. That was cool. That was awesome. Thank you, Mr. Brown. So you can see this super deep spot right here. It's probably, I mean, it's deep there. It's probably about 2.5 feet there. And then there's that ledge and it drops off. He was right on the downstream side of that ledge. So here's the flies today. That's a size 16 light bright peacock perdigon with an inverted 3.0 bead. Caught most of my fish on that. I saw some sow bugs and I switched over to a walt worm this afternoon. That's just a natural size 16. I was getting a few on that, and my dropper, I had a size 18 black France fly and a size 18 olive quill body perdigon that I did pretty well on. This morning I had a size 12 jig streamer that you know, I don't know how many. I think I caught 4 or 5 on the jig streamer, but most of my fish came from the light bright perdigon. So I'm going to be calling it quits here. Really, I had a great day. It was really fun out here. We just had the first real cold snap, so it started out, it was really cold this morning. It was about 34 degrees. The water temperature was 48. I started out with a jig streamer, and I did, you know, I caught a few on that, and after a while, I saw a lot of olives coming up, so you know, I was paying attention, and I started seeing a couple risers here and there. And the more the sun got up, I kept seeing more and more olives. So when I switched over to nymphs, just kind of right away, I started getting them. Where I found the fish today were a lot of side bank lies. Anytime where the water slowed down, even if it was 1.5 feet deep, I was getting fish out of there. You know, I was here a month ago, and the typical riffles and runs where they were a month ago, they were not in today. They were definitely in that slower water. And you know, I fished some water. On the video I talked about, I think I pulled 4 out of one spot where I'd fished the jig streamer earlier, didn't get a hit, and then I come through with the nymphs and get them. And it just goes to show you, it's like George Daniels said, you can't force feed fish what you want them to eat. You got to give them what they want to eat, and they definitely wanted nymphs today for sure. So I hope you enjoyed today. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing, I would appreciate if you would subscribe. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later.